Now, if we're adding a new license host, a scenario for this might be we've purchased a new machine. What we want to do is add our licenses to that new machine. Or maybe there's an existing user who would like to have their own licenses, some existing hardware. Okay, but so basically what we're doing is sort of making a change to the license setup. So once again, we can go to the licensing hosts page, which is by just clicking down the left-hand side here. Once again, we see something similar to what we did before, but now we can actually add that host. Okay, so we can basically just click that and go through the motions. There are also here, as the arrow indicates, filters which you can use that you might like to do a search for a particular label or MAC address or host name if you've got lots of things to manage. Otherwise, you can just look through the list. Okay, also another way to add a licensing host is more from the main page. So when we get onto the main page and we come into the licensing option, there is a button there to add a new licensing host as well. And yes, so once we've chosen either of those two options, we have some options to pick what that particular host is. Okay, so whether it's a standard licensing host, now this could be node locked, or it could be a floating license server. In a situation, sometimes if we want to provide some redundancy with our licensing, if we like, we can actually have like a 3 floating license server setup, whereby we have 3 servers that work in combination with each other. For the licenses to function there, we only need 2 out of the 3 license servers to be available. So if a server reboot is required, we could do 1 at a time and not have any downtime. So typically in a larger organization, you might do that. It isn't that commonly used though. Also, home use license, that's for certain products where you purchase a floating license or a subscription license, and it provides you access to the ability to have a license, a node lock license at home. Okay, so it allows you to just specify what you're doing there. This part of it, fairly straightforward. So the host details is a host name. That's more for identification purposes. It's not necessarily required for the license file. The most important thing is actually the MAC address, and that relates to your individual network card that you have. And if you're not sure about that, there's a few ways to obtain it. If you're familiar with a command prompt, then there's a command in there which is ipconfig/all, which you can type in. However, there are other ways to get that same information, and the label that we mentioned as well before is if we just want to start to identify this as maybe a person's name, as I suggested.